It's time for some carbon-based gaming.
This must be the place. Professor Ubier's house.
Looks pretty creepy. I'd been away from Paris and hadn't seen Nico for nearly 6 months. I wanted to celebrate our reunion, but she had other plans. An appointment with an archaeologist. Something to do with a Mayan stone she came across while researching a story. The guy who answered the door didn't look much like an archaeologist to me. I have a bad feeling about this. I glanced over the books, vaguely hoping to find a copy of How to Deal with Poisonous Spiders While Tied to a Chair. No such luck. But I noticed one corner of the bookcase was supported by a loose block of wood. Maybe I'd been a little heavy-handed, but it was a question of survival. Of course, I was still tied to a chair in a burning house with no means of escape. With one mighty bound, our hero was free. Now, I had to deal with that fire. Nice couple. Inside, I found a bottle of tequila. Normally, I didn't drink strong spirits, but today was far from normal. Ew. Disgusting. Not only did the tequila burn like hell, I just managed to stop myself from swallowing the worm. There was something short, fleshy, and gross on the carpet. It was the worm from the bottle of tequila. In the drawer was a small decorated pot. That dart was sharper than a mosquito's business end. but this didn't deter me from getting it anyway. There was no pressure in the siphon. I guess it was out of gas. I wasn't going to touch the box after that spider had been inside it. I racked my brains to think of a way to improvise a fire extinguisher. If only I'd stopped for a coffee at the airport. It was a stylish little canvas number containing a lipstick, a handwritten note, and a pair of nylon panties with a large love heart emblazoned across the front. It occurred to me that Nico's tastes must have really changed while I was away. Well, they could be useful. I wasn't going to get through those sturdy bars. I wasn't going to get through those sturdy bars. The bookcase had fallen on its front, making it impossible to reach the books inside. I wasn't touching that spider goo. The rope was shredded and no possible use to me. I had no time to sit around. The projecting bracket had served its purpose. There was nothing else I could do with it. The door blocked my only means of escape. I couldn't put out the flames with my bare hands. There was no pressure in the siphon. I guess it was out of gas. I guess I had no business reading the note, but I figured it might give me a clue to what Nico was involved in. It was from Andre Labano, the history student Nico had known at college. The letter was sentimental mush, and revealed that the exotic lingerie, as he called it, was a gift from him. It gave his telephone number. Labano figured himself as a rival for Nico's affections, but I couldn't believe that that creep was in the running. The pot contained a key. It looked like a house key. It was the box that's... I'd already ransacked Nico's handbag, and besides which, the color didn't suit me. There was nothing else in the drawer. I'd drunk enough of that. The photograph wasn't any use to me. It was the poisoned dart which had stunned Nico. I'd never known anything keep her quiet so effectively. It was Nico's lipstick. It wasn't my color, and it reminded me of clowns. It was that itsy-bitsy tequila worm. I really must remember to take it out of my pants before I send them to the laundry. It was a pair of red, lace-trimmed panties decorated with a large black satin heart. I'd already ransacked Nico's handbag, and besides which, the color didn't suit me. The cabinet was locked. The key was way too large to fit into that tiny keyhole. As I released the lock, something blew the doors open. The cabinet was already open. That cylinder was hot. I couldn't pick it up with my bare hands. The panties I'd found in Nico's bag were just what I needed to wrap around the hot cylinder. The cylinder gave out a faint hiss as the valve opened.
What?
Now I had one primed up and ready to use extinguisher. With a well-aimed squirt of his soda fountain, our unshakable hero saved the day. Now it was time to start looking for Nico. I wasn't going to burn myself on that red-hot doorknob, and it wasn't the time for subtlety. I'd found a piece of newspaper folded in two. It referred to a forthcoming eclipse of the sun. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be visible from Europe. The best place to view the eclipse would be Mexico. Much as I disliked him, Labano might be my only hope of finding Nico. Hi, Andre?
Who is this?
It's George Stobbart, Nico's boyfriend.
Don't you mean ex-boyfriend?
Look, I didn't call you just to pick a fight. I need to talk to you about Nico.
Can't you accept she's just not interested in you?
Listen, Andre, we need to talk. Nico's life depends on it.
Okay. You remember the cafe at Montfaucon?
Sure. Andre? You'd better show, you creep. I felt an irrational urge to wipe my ear. It was locked. The house key didn't fit this lock. I unlocked the door. I wasn't looking forward to meeting Labano again, but he was my only link with Nico. There was no sign of Labano when I got to the cafe. I decided to order a coffee and wait for him. I couldn't snatch the man's flask while he was looking. Oh, garçon. He ignored me. I'm sure it was deliberate. Pardon me, but don't I know you?
Huh?
You were here the day I found the catacombs.
I was? Ah, yes. I remember you.
Yeah. Are you still in the police force?
No, not anymore. I'm a man of leisure. And what brings you back to Paris?
My girlfriend.
What it is to be young and in love. Will you share a bottle of wine with me?
Hey, listen, I'd love to, but I need to keep a clear head.
So my company isn't good enough for you.
What's that you're drinking?
It's wine.
The man was still looking. Why did you leave the police?
I was forced to retire. The golden handshake. Only in my case, it was more copper than gold.
How come?
I was made a scapegoat to cover up the department's inefficiencies.
Have you ever heard of a Professor Oubier?
No, monsieur. I don't recall the name.
Well, apparently he's an expert on Mayan art and history.
A little out of my field of experience, monsieur. If he'd been a serial killer or a sodomite, I might have been able to help.
The man was still looking. What do you make of this dart?
I remember a case where the victim was killed with just such a device. The poison acted in seconds, causing his body to swell up like an inflatable life raft.
What do you make of this news cutting?
Orphanage supplied fast food chain?
No, it's the article above that.
Oh! Total eclipse of the sun. Well, that's very dull in comparison. I don't know anything about eclipses.
Tell me what you make of this note.
From my years of experience, I gained a pretty good insight into handwriting. I'd say that note was written by a compulsive, obsessive type with an Oedipus complex.
Hey, you got just about everything apart from the ponytail. Hey, you.
What?
I'd like a cup of coffee if you don't mind.
When I finish serving this gentleman. Un café.
Thanks. What does that guy keep pouring out of his flask?
Absinthe.
Absinthe? I thought that was highly dangerous and outlawed in France.
It is. Don't look at me, I didn't sell it to him.
Do you know a guy called André Lobineau?
Oui, I know him. What of it?
Well, I'm supposed to meet him here. Did I miss him?
No, I have not seen him today.
Have you heard of Professor Oubier?
Oui. He married that actress, the little dachshund. They used to come here. The nutty professor and the movie star.
If Oubier's wife was a movie star, how come I never heard of her?
She was big in France. The world doesn't stop at Hollywood. Her stage name was Carol Climax. She died in suspicious circumstances.
How did Oubier's wife die?
I heard he shot her.
And got away with it?
He had a good lawyer and a watertight alibi.
Why would an eminent public figure like Oubier risk everything for murder?
He wouldn't be the first, would he? Besides, people like him always get off.
Do you know that man over there?
I should think so. He's a regular customer.
Look at this. A poison dart.
Ah oui, sure.
It's the real thing. Knocked my girlfriend out cold in a matter of seconds.
Romantic. Sounds like a real close relationship you have going.
That's all.
Thank you.
Well, this is a surprise, Georgie.
I wouldn't normally call you. But Nico's in trouble, Andre. Deep trouble. You have to help me find her.
What? What have you dragged her into this time?
It was you that recommended Professor Oubier as an expert on Mayan art. Now his butler's kidnapped her, and he tried to kill me.
Every time she gets involved with you, there is trouble. Walking out on her was the best thing you could do.
My father was dying, damn it. I had no choice.
Well, she soon recovered once she went back to her old friends.
Drop it, Andre. Right now, Nico's in danger, and we have to work together.
So, how can I help?
Nico needed to speak to Oubier about a stone.
Oh, you mean this stone?
So that's what all the trouble's about.
Precisely. Nicole told me to guard it with my life.
Well, it's worth more than that, surely.
Oh, very funny.
What's funny is that your life really is on the line.
What are you talking about?
The stone is a Mayan artifact, dummy, and the guy who kidnapped Nico was from Central America. It was the stone they were after.
Oh my god, you mean I could be in danger too?
What do you suppose the carving on the stone means?
I don't know. I haven't shown it to anyone.
Why don't you just give it to me?
I don't want your death on my conscience, George.
Where did Nico get the stone?
I'm not sure I should tell you.
Oh, you should.
It was something to do with smuggling.
Why didn't Nico take the stone to Oubier?
I don't know. Perhaps she suspected something like this would happen.
If she's been hurt, Andre, I'll break every bone in your body.
No, that's typical of you. Do you think I don't care what happens to Nicole?
It occurred to me that slugs don't have bones to break, but I kept that thought to myself. Tell me about your friend Oubier.
He's more of a professional acquaintance than a friend.
I see. So you don't really know him at all?
No, I don't.
Does Oubier employ a guy from Central America?
Maybe. I don't know.
What do you think this is, Andre?
I don't know.
I'll give you a clue. It's got more backbone than you.
You think you're amusing, don't you?
What can you tell me about this pot?
South or Central American, I'd say. I have a friend who'd be able to tell you more.
Where can I find this guy?
He owns a gallery on the left bank. The Gliese Gallery.
See you later.
Goodbye, Georgie.
I've had enough of your games, Collard. Tell me what you've done with my stone.
I thought your business was simply smuggling cocaine, Karzak. Why are you so interested in that stone?
Either you tell me what I want to know, or Pablo here will make you talk.
Okay. Well, I figured someone at the university would be able to help. So I had a word with one of my girlfriends, and she told me her boyfriend was a lecturer. I sent the stone to the Department of Ethnology. You know, I figured it was South American, so... You're not buying this, are you?
That's enough! I don't have time to listen to your mindless prattle. We'll leave you to think it over. Come the morning, you'll be ready to talk.
I don't think so. The man was still looking. 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 Do you miss being a gendarme?
Yes, of course I do. When I wore that uniform, I commanded respect. Not anymore.
I grabbed the flask and was struck by a powerful smell of absinthe, a highly potent and illegal alcoholic drink. Excuse me.
What?
Didn't you try to appeal against your dismissal?
There was no point. It was my word against that of the chief inspector. And he was a close friend of the director of the museum I was supposed to be patrolling.
Excuse me.
Leave me alone.
You need anything else?
There was nothing I wanted to say to him. I had no desire to go down into the sewers. Now I had another lead. I could either go back to Ubier's house or visit the Glee's gallery. The Glee's gallery had style and class, but very few customers. The wasteland. Too minimalistic for too much money. The pots were protected by a glass case. Hi, girls. What's the joke?
あなたはキレてですね。
Okay, fine. Are you Mr. Glees, the owner?
Good God, no.
Then I guess that must be him over there, right?
Your powers of deductive reasoning astound me.
Have you heard of Professor Ubier?
Yes, of course.
I was at his house earlier.
If you're going to drop names, you could at least name one worth dropping.
I thought Ubier was a well-respected man.
Why, his last book was nothing but pseudo-intellectual claptrap. The demented ramblings of a drug-dependent has-been.
What's that you're drinking?
I'm not sure, but I have a suspicion it might be urine. Glees can't expect a favorable criticism of his gallery when he serves this muck.
Would you give me your opinion on this pot, sir?
Yes. Very rapouche.
Rapouche?
Hideous.
What the hell do you think you're doing? You smashed my pot.
Certainly, it was not only worthless, it was ugly and offensive.
To you, maybe.
Believe me, I was doing you a favor.
I wasn't going to waste any more breath talking to that pompous blimp. Maybe I could turn the situation to my advantage, and at the same time, get my revenge. The pot had smashed into too many pieces to retrieve. I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Certainly, sir. I'd be most happy to oblige.
You're English?
These days one prefers to think of oneself as European.
Sure. Whatever you say.
And how precisely may one assist you, sir?
There is a gentleman over there who seems to be enjoying your wine.
I can't think why. It was very cheap.
What I really wanted to ask you about was a black stone.
A black stone?
Yeah, it's a Mayan artifact, about as big as my hand.
No, sir, one doesn't get much call for black stones. If it's Mayan artifacts you're interested in, I have some rather exquisite pots.
So did I, until that slob smashed it. Have you heard of Professor Ubier?
Of course. His name is synonymous with Mayan art. A number of these artifacts were supplied by Ubier himself.
Do you believe the story that Ubier murdered his wife?
If it was true, who can blame him? She was an opportunist tramp. Well, that's what I heard.
Have you seen any of Ubier's wife's films?
Only one. Believe me, I was appalled, shocked, disgusted, and repulsed.
Well, you sure got your money's worth. Last time I went to the movies, I wasn't even titillated. I suppose you have an import license for these relics?
Of course. But that's not my problem, sir. The professor arranges all the shipping. We simply collect the items from the docks.
Could you tell me which docks Professor Ubier uses to import the artifacts?
Good God, no. I can't possibly reveal my commercial secrets.
Do you get many Central American Indians in here?
No, sir. This is Paris. Central America is several thousand kilometers southwest of here. Straight across the Atlantic Ocean and turn left. You can't miss it.
Well, as it happens, I saw some Central American Indians this very morning.
Tourists, sir. Paris is full of them at this time of year.
I found this news story referring to a total eclipse of the sun.
Really, sir? Well, fascinating.
The pot had smashed into too many pieces to retrieve. I had no possible use for a credit card reader.
Excuse me, sir. That area is private.
Oh, so I'm not allowed back here?
No, sir.
I didn't think he'd be interested. I splashed a little absinthe into the glass and hoped he wouldn't notice the change of color.
Did you put something in my drink?
Yeah, I did. Well, what do you think?
Well, it's certainly an improvement over Gleese's wine. In fact, I could grow to like it.
Allow me. There was nothing in the case but styrofoam packing, but pasted on the side was the remains of a label. Underneath the logo of a flying bird were the words Condor Transglobal Mars. The rest of the label was missing. The packing case contained nothing but styrofoam chips. I had no possible use for a credit card reader. I wasn't going to waste my breath on that drunkard. Were those pots very valuable?
The pots are insured, but not the shelving. You've no idea how much that cost me. Go away. Go away.
The pot had smashed into too many pieces to retrieve. The pots were protected. If I wanted to be laughed at, there was always Nico.
Go away.
It was locked. The tiny point was only of use for picking small locks. The cabinet was already open. I wasn't going to touch... I'd already ran, and besides which, the color didn't suit me. The photograph wasn't any use to me. I wasn't touching that spider goo. The projecting bracket had served its purpose. There was nothing else I could do with it. The rope was shredded and no possible use to me. I had no time to sit around. I'd already ransacked Nico's handbag, and besides which, the color didn't suit me. The cabinet was already open. There was no one else I wanted to call. I had a choice of destinations. The cafe at Montfaucon or the art gallery.
You need anything else?
There was nothing I wanted to say to him. Excuse me.
What?
Ever heard of Carol Climax, the movie star?
Yes, but I don't care for the kind of movie she's made. It's smut like that which has caused the moral decline of the Western world.
Is it true that Carol Climax was murdered by her husband?
First I heard of it. I thought she just retired.
I'm trying to find my girlfriend. She's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, it was our first day back together after many months.
That's too bad. My God, that's depressing.
Excuse me.
Leave me alone.
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 It was too hot to sit inside the cafe.
You need anything else?
The waiter wouldn't have been interested.
That's all.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
What?
He wouldn't have wanted that. Which museum was it you were supposed to be patrolling?
The croon. It wasn't as if anything important was stolen. Just a rusty old tripod.
The tripod I'd returned a few weeks later. Excuse me.
Leave me alone.
Excuse me.
Leave me alone.
You need anything else?
There was nothing I wanted to say to him. Excuse me.
What?
He wouldn't have wanted that. I'd been looking forward to seeing my girl, but she wanted to rush off to see some professor.
I see. And you think she's having an affair with this professor?
Look, forget it. It doesn't matter. Excuse me.
What?
He wouldn't have wanted that. Excuse me.
What?
He wouldn't have wanted that. Excuse me.
What?
He wouldn't have wanted that.
You need anything else?
The waiter wouldn't have been interested.
That's all.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
What?
He wouldn't have wanted that. It was too hot to sit inside the... I had no desire to go down into the sewers. I could either go back to Ubier's house, or visit the Glee's gallery. If I wanted to be laughed at, there was always... If I wanted to be laughed at, there was always Nico. If I wanted... If I wanted to be laughed at, there was always Nico.
Go away. Go away.
I wasn't going to waste my breath on that drunkard.
Go away. Go away.
The packing case contained nothing but styrofoam chips. It was a label bearing the name Condor Transglobal. There was no one else I wanted to call. It was locked. It looked like a house key. Something possessed me to lock the door again. It was locked. It was the newspaper clipping referring to the imminent eclipse. Wrapped inside it was another small piece of paper. It was a bank statement for Ubier's account from an automatic telling machine. The last 5 withdrawals were for large amounts, and all made in Marseille. It was beginning to make sense. Ubier had organized Nico's abduction. Ubier withdrew money from Marseille. Ubier was connected with Transglobal, who shipped their goods from a warehouse in Marseille. That's how the torn Transglobal label had once read. Marseille, not Mars. It wasn't much of a lead, but it was all I had. I set off immediately to catch the evening train. It was almost dawn when I arrived in Marseille. I traced Condor Transglobal to a desolate dockside. The sign read, rightly enough, no entry. There was nothing there I wanted. It was just a heap of chains and stuff. The guard dog was staring at me with a hungry look in his eyes. The stick had a hook on one end. I figured it was a boat hook for hooking boats. The platform was held up by a hinged bracket. I couldn't figure out what it was for. Maybe it was part of a structure which no longer existed. The trapdoor barred my way into the watchman's hut. The floorboards above me creaked ominously under the watchman's weight. The watchman must have bolted the trapdoor. My arms weren't long enough to reach the platform. My arms weren't long enough to reach the platform. The watchman must... The chimney was a metal pipe with a conical hat on top to stop the rain getting in. Ouch! That's hot. The panties would not have been thick enough to shield this level of heat. It was Ubier's bank statement. That wouldn't work. That isn't it at all. Without a way of firing the dart, I would never have been able to propel it fast enough to puncture the mutt's hide. It was a short wooden-handled boat hook. I wasn't convinced that was the right thing to do. Not such a good idea. Hi, good morning.
Do you know what time it is?
No, I don't wear a watch. As my dad used to say, I'm not into time, man.
Well, you're too early.
What time is it anyhow?
The big hand's on the floor. Why aren't you in bed?
I can explain everything.
Never mind, I ain't that interested.
What time do you open the gates?
7.
Do you mind if I hang out here till the docks open?
Please yourself, but you'll have a long wait. It's Sunday, and tomorrow is the start of the national holiday. Everything is closed for a month.
Well, wouldn't you just know it? Does that dog belong to you?
Nah, he comes with the job. I just feed him every now and then.
More then than now, I'd say. What's the dog's name?
20.
It's unusual for a dog.
It's his registration number. Security dog number 20.
That animal doesn't seem too hot for a guard dog.
No? You haven't seen him in action.
Doesn't look like he has the energy to wag his tail.
Just like my wife. She's like a slug in a coma until she's annoyed. Then, she's like a tiger with a rat up its ass.
Sweet. Ever heard of Condor Transglobal?
Sure. They have a warehouse here.
Well, could I take a look?
Not until after the holidays. Come back in a month.
I have to make a delivery to Condor Transglobal.
Where's your rig?
About half a mile down the road.
And you walked here? Jeez, are you some kind of nut?
Nah, it was easy. I just put one foot in front of the other. Are you gonna let me make my delivery?
Not without the paperwork. You get the papers, you make your delivery, and I get a fat backhander.
I was getting nowhere with the story about being a trucker. Do you know what kind of business Condor's involved in?
I'm paid to guard the gate. Their business is none of mine.
I'm looking for a young woman.
At the docks? What kind of woman do you have in mind?
You don't understand. It's my girlfriend I'm trying to find.
Well, I ain't seen her, and you should tell her the docks ain't no place for a young lady. They're dirty and they're dangerous.
I'm certain my girlfriend was brought here when she was abducted.
What? Your girl was kidnapped?
Yeah. Struck down by an Indian with a poisoned dart.
A poison dart, huh?
I could tell he didn't believe me. I have these very exotic panties.
Take them away, you pervert!
Have you ever heard of Professor Oubier?
Me? None of my friends are professors or anything like that.
What's cooking?
Beans. You know a man can live on nothing but beans.
Not this one. Don't you ever get tired of eating beans?
Sure I do. What do you take me for?
And what's the alternative?
Peas. I can't eat them too often, though. They play hell with my digestion.
Have you ever considered changing your diet?
What's wrong with beans and beer?
You need me to tell you? You're pumping out enough methane here to fill a dirigible. This is the dart that the Indian shot at my girlfriend.
Sheesh! That's pretty weird, but I don't see why you'd expect to find her here.
Take a look at this letter.
That's sick. Did you write it?
Oh, no. No, it's a letter from my girlfriend's admirer.
If I was you, I'd smack him in the mouth.
Well, that's not my style, but thanks for the advice. I gotta go now, but I'll be back.
Can't wait.
The gates were fastened with a heavy-duty padlock. Breaking steel padlocks with my bare hands was a feat I'd never mastered. That dog looked like he already had more worms than he needed. Hey, 20!
What's the big idea?
I don't know. The dog went berserk for no apparent reason.
He's trained to do that. The idea is to deter any would-be intruder.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just remember, he's a trained attack dog. A killer.
The bottle was just out of reach. Nothing was going to get me into that water if I could help it. I just knew that boat hook would be useful for something. As for the bottle, even if I couldn't find a use for it, I'd cleaned up the dock a little. It was the beer bottle that slob of a watchman had dumped in the sea, now half full of filthy dock water. The label read, "Surge, the beer that clears your head." The bottle was half filled with water. Maybe it would cool the cone down enough to touch it. Now I could see into the pipe which formed the chimney. That chimney looked very exposed without its cone. The bottle had blocked the chimney, and the hut was filling up with smoke. The packet was full of dog biscuits. That mug was a health risk. I decided to leave it where it was. Someone had once told me a piece of coal brought you luck. Who was I to argue with irrational superstition? Yow! Stove equals heat, heat equals burn, burn equals excruciating pain. Baked beans in ketchup. I wouldn't have considered wearing it if it had been the last coat on Earth. A shabby old overcoat hung from a peg near the door. The saucepan was 3/4 full of baked beans. I wasn't convinced that was the right thing to do. I wasn't convinced. No. 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 That isn't it at all. I wasn't convinced that... Baked beans in ketchup. The box contained nothing but blank forms. It was a box of blank forms. The box contained... It was the...
What the hell do you think you're doing? Get the hell out of here.
Okay, just hold on to that dog. My arms weren't long enough to reach the platform. Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy. I felt a slight twinge of conscience as I prepared to give the dog a dunking. It soon passed. As I'd expected, the dog could swim like a... well, like a dog.
If you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe for more. Or consider checking out one of the related playlists on the channel.